What you have here is probably the most iconic weapon of World War II that began in 1915 by General Joseph T. Thompson. And what he was trying to accomplish was a rapid-fire weapon that would be carried by the troops to replace bolt-action guns. And after quite a while, in 1917, he perfected what was called, or soon to be called, the Thompson Sub-machine Gun. And he released it for use in 1918. Unfortunately, World War I ended in 2 days, and it never really saw action in World War I. So it came back to the United States and remanufactured. And in 1919, it became officially known as the Thompson Sub-machine Gun. It was the first submachine gun ever to be invented and used in warfare. But it'd be many years before it would go to war. So in the meantime, it became a civilian weapon. All the way up to 1928, it was finally adapted by the United States Post Office, of all people, and the United States Marine Corps. The Marine Corps used the weapon primarily in China prior to World War II. At that time, the Thompson, which had once been called the Annihilator, was now the Thompson Submachine Gun, and it was a very effective weapon all the way up to 1928. It could shoot as many as 800 rounds per minute with an effective range of about 120 yards. Shot the .45 caliber pistol round, ACP, which is why it's really called a submachine gun. Finally, in 1938, the Thompson was adopted by the United States Army and was known as the 1928 A1. And it came in 3 clips. It would carry a 20-round stick clip, a 30-round stick clip, and a 50-round drum magazine, and at times a 100-round drum magazine. The problem with it, it was very, very heavy. The gun alone, without the ammunition, weighs about 12 pounds, and it could get even heavier than that. But despite that fact, it became one of the most beloved weapons of U.S. Army paratroopers, even though it had been issued to officers, cooks, people like that. Very rarely did you see regular infantry with a Thompson submachine gun. And went throughout the whole war. There were 2 million of them made. And after the war, it still saw action. Primarily, it was adopted by the Israeli army and served for many years in Israel. And since then, several other wars, but then finally retired as one of the most iconic weapons in the history of weapons of World War II. The weapon itself is quite simple. Basically what happened is this is a 20-round stick clip, and the clip itself feeds right up here. Then you pull this charging handle and it's loaded and ready to go. And this 20-round clip will go real quick. There was another weapon they were using at the same time, which I'm sure you've heard of, is the BAR. It was shot in .308. Very, very heavy weapon, not as heavy, quite heavier than the Thompson actually, but this was small, more portable, and that's why it was greatly favored by the airborne versus the BAR.